comes to ART, but let me give you the brief thing when it comes to this so you can instantly impact on this. So A stands for authority and it stands for expertise. So let me ask you a question. What can you do right now to instantly increase the authority and the expertise that you have in your industry? First of all, do you have your own personal website? I mean, that's a standard. Do you have your own .com? Do you have your own aaronsansoni.com or .au if you're in Australia, or .asia if you're in different parts of the world? And there's obviously a whole bunch of different extensions you can get. If you can get your own .com, get it straight away. If you can get your own URL for the country you live in, get that as well straight away. You know, that currency when it comes to domain names is hugely important to the future of the world when it comes to how much value that are in those as well, because there's only a certain amount of those that are available. But here's the deal. You've got to get that. Now, what do you need to do on that? Well, start blogging, start talking about what you do. Get some interesting articles on there. Do you have social media where you're just using it to talk with your friends, or do you have social media where you're using to show that you're an authority and you're an expert in what you do? And this is separate. You might have a Facebook fan page, which is great, but you need to have your own fan page for you and who you are, showing your expertise separate from other people. Because remember this, experts get paid expert fees, right? If you're an expert, people want to be around you. They want to listen to you. You know, if you think about looking at the media, or you think about newspapers that you read, everything that you see in media that's taken seriously is all by experts. Everyone that's on TV, they're a doctor of this, or they've got a degree in that, or have experience in this. So remember, you can be an expert by results, just like me, right? I have results because I've created so many brands, multi-million-dollar companies for myself personally, but I have results because of the clients, just like you, who I've taken from zero, and some even less than zero, to multi-million-dollar results in under 1 year. So I'm what you would call an expert via results, versus somebody else who can be an expert via research. Now, if you don't yet have the results that you want to have within your industry, then what you can do is you can go out there and you can research what people can do to be more successful, right? So you can go, okay, let's say for example, I'll give you a great example. I'm a big basketball fan, okay? And when it comes to basketball, you can't go past the NBA. So for me, you look at, there's two types of coaches in the NBA. They've got ones that have been players for years and years and years, and they show their team how to be successful. But then you've got other people that have never been a player at all ever, but they're a very successful coach. Guys like Eric Spoelstra, who's part of the Miami club when LeBron James and these guys were there, and they won championships together. Now, he never played in the major leagues, but he was an expert via research. He understood the game in its detail. He understood how to get the best from players. He understood how to make sure that people were getting the optimal results, that his team were cohesion together and they were executing the plays that they needed to. So he was so good that he got his team to win a championship. So he was an expert via research. So you don't just have to be an expert via results like me, you can also be an expert via research as well, or a combination of the two. So if you're just getting into the industry, or you're just starting a new business, remember, what can you do? Who can you interview in your industry that already is an expert? Do an interview with them and talk to them and get that online to show that borrowed credibility between you. Could you start to write a blog? Could you start to write a book? Could you start to get your own personal website? Now again, I can go into a huge amount of depth when it comes to this, and I really will when we spend some time together. This quick start guide is because I couldn't wait. I said to my team, we've got to create something so I can instantly start to get you some instant cash coming into your business and have the sales rolling in and have the freedom rolling out within your life. So I had to give you something right now of massive value, and this is why I'm giving this to you right now. So just a couple of points so far. If you don't have a website, get one. And start to work on the things that we've talked about so far to position yourself as an authority, as an expert as well. Now the R stands for results and it stands for proof. So there's two types of people that are going to be watching this right now. One, again, you have results, okay? You need to capture those. So if you've got results from people, you need to capture the amazing stuff you've done for them, whether it's through your product or through your service. So say for instance, if you go to my YouTube channel, there's over 800 people that are talking about literally the monetary results that they've gotten from working with me. And that's not even everybody that I've actually got to show you. That's just a small amount of people that we've captured over the years, because what we believe is capturing the result of what we're talking about is super important. So think about it for you. What can you do to capture the results of what you do, to showcase what you do, and the proof, right? The R is the result. The other part of that is proof. Proof is the story behind the result. So let me ask you a question. If in your business you have a product or service that helps people, do you think you could find the story behind how it's really helped people? And do you think that's going to be more powerful than just talking about the results? So in other words, let's say for example you have a business where you help people to lose weight or to be healthy. Let's say for example they've lost 10 kilos or 10 pounds in the last 4 weeks. Well, that's a great result, saying they lost 10 kilos, but what's the story behind that? Is it that mum of 3 kids is suddenly finding her energy again and her confidence again? Is it the dad that suddenly found the new inner him? Is he able to keep up with the kids when he's running around the park? What is it? What's the story? Do they feel so great about themselves that they've walked in and said, this is what I want, they're starting to sell more than they've ever done before? It's affecting their own personal life. What have they done as a result of the result? Okay, I'm going to say it again to make sure you capture that. What have they done? What's the result? But then what's the result of that result? And that's what I call the proof, and that's the story as well. So if you can showcase those two things in your industry, in your business, the result you've got and the story behind the result, bam, you have something absolutely amazing and a key pivotal part to the ART process. So I'm so excited to be sharing with you, because I'm telling you now, some of these things we're going to drill down into a lot more in depth, especially the last one. When we get together, we spend some time together, or if you're studying any of my programs online. But really, this is about understanding that you've got to get your ART correct, because if you want to stand out amongst everybody else in your industry that's trying to do what you do, or really, to become the top of what you do, you've got to have a brand. I mean, statistics show us that people that have a brand outside of their business, these are the people that have more revenue coming in, more leads coming in, and these are the people that can create more companies and more brands as well on the back of who they are. Now, the last thing here is T. Okay, so T stands for trust, authenticity, and your story. Okay, so what do I mean by that? Trust is simple, okay? Someone has to trust you. Now, if you think about it like this, trust is broken into 3 things, okay? They've got to trust you, they've got to trust your company, and they've got to trust the product or service that you have, that you're giving to that person, okay? So I'm just going to say it again. They've got to trust you, they've got to trust your company, and they've got to trust the product or the service that you're offering to that person. Now, the reason I break it down like that is a lot of people sort of focus on one thing. They say, well, look, if that person really likes me, they're going to want to do business with me. Well, the reality is that they might really like you, but if they don't like your process, or don't really think it's going to work for them, or if they don't really trust your company, they're not going to do business with you. So those 3 things really need to line up for them to say, yes, I want to do business with you. So having great reviews of your company online, having a personal brand online is really important. Having a clear path to how that person can become successful with your product or service, that's really important. And then on top of that, how you deal with people so you understand that you are a trustworthy person is absolutely paramount. So part of that is understand that to be authentic, to show yourself in an authentic way, is to know that we want to deal with people that are real. I mean, that's the clear part of it. I mean, they don't have to know everything about your life and everything about your story, but if you can share with somebody a little bit about who you are and make them feel like they're connecting with that real person behind that company, watch what happens to your business. I mean, I always say to people that the business of caring is a big business, and it really, really is. If you can show people that you care, that you really want to help that person to be successful. I mean, for me, if I think about my company, it's one of the core values out of the 3 core values that I have in my company is love, right? Love. Because love and care is critically important internally and externally from all companies that you might be dealing with, or for yourself as well. So the T, when it comes to trust and authenticity, is about how you show someone you care about the result you're going to get for them in your product or service that you have, and importantly, that they believe they're dealing with a real human being, a real person. They're not just dealing with somebody else that's trying to sell them a product or a service, but they're really connected with that person's message and they feel like they're a part of something. So this ART, goodness, I could spend so much time on this, because this is one of the pivotal things that's going to have a massive trajectory change for you within your personal and within your business success. But that, again, this is the brief thing that I want you to start thinking about and start connecting with. Because let's face it, right? I said you instantly can start making money using what I'm showing you today. I promise you, you go into the next influence and persuasion scenario. Maybe you're selling a product or a service. You say, do you know what? I'm going to be authentic. I'm going to be real with this person. I'm going to show them I care and I want to connect with that person. Watch what happens when you're dealing with that person. You can be professional, You can still have a brand, you can have results and proof in what you do, but if you can show someone you really care about them and about the result that they're trying to get, watch what happens to your business. Watch how everything changes when you start doing that as well. ART of your business and your brand will change your world. And how fast will it change? Instantly, just like that. Not when we catch up and in the workshop and the other training. Instantly when you start to implement some of these things and use what I'm showing you so far. Okay, and that's why I can tell I'm so excited about this, because I know the impact that this has already had on my life, let alone the impact that this can have on your life. So, number 4. Are you ready for number 4? Are you ready for number 4? Here we go. Number 4. Now again, one of my favorites. Number 4 is the $1 million trifecta. $1 million trifecta, 3 parts. Now, this I cover in depth within my programs, whether it be the Profit Academy programs where I talk about sales and business and marketing, a whole bunch of stuff, my Sales King programs, the Sales Mastery programs. I talk about these things in depth, and at your workshop, I can guarantee you, because at every workshop I do, I talk about this as well. This is really where you learn how to connect with somebody and get them to buy your product or your service. And this really is where I've grown my brand right around the world, because I've understood how to do this really effectively as well. So the $1 million trifecta is critical in any situation where you are influencing and you are persuading as well. So I want to give you the really brief version of this, because I'm not going to do this justice if I try and do this in this quick impact training. But what I want to let you know is this. The $1 million trifecta is about 3 key things: engage, enroll, and convert. Okay? Engage, enroll, and convert. They are my 3 chunks, my 3 parts of my $1 million trifecta. Now, what that means is that if you want to be able to work with people, influence and persuade people in the 21st century, we have to make sure that we cover off these 3 E's, these 2 E's and these C. Okay? So the engage part stands for this, right? When you first meet somebody, we have to understand, and similar to what I spoke about before when it comes to dress and the cards and the things that I'm going to get you to do, we have to get people to pay 100% attention to us instantly when we meet them. Now, when you meet people, they're in a bit of a zombie-like state, right? They're not really paying attention to you when they first meet you, or maybe they are for the first couple of seconds, but then they're on to the next thing, or they're on their Facebook feed, or they're on the phone. If we want to influence and persuade, we need them 100% focused on what we're talking about. So one of the things I want you to work on is this. If I asked you, what do you do? If you take 5 minutes to answer me, or maybe you take a minute to answer me, but it doesn't really connect with with me, or I don't really want to know more, we have to work on it. Now, if you first met me and I say, hey, my name is Aaron Sansoni, I'm going to double your business in the next 90 days guaranteed. Would you be a little bit more interested in wanting to speak to me? Or if it was a variation of that and I said, I'm going to double your sales in the next 60 days. Or if you're unhealthy, you said, hey, I'm going to show you how to lose 10 kilos in 10 days with 3 easy steps. I mean, I'm instantly wanting to learn more about that if that was me. So let me ask you a question. What do you say when you first meet people? How do you engage people when you first meet them? One of the things I want you to work on, because remember, this in itself, I could teach this for 4 to 5 hours just in this, because there's so much that goes behind it. But in this quick impact start, in this quick impact video, what I want you to do is this. I want you to think about this. What can I say when I first meet somebody that instantly makes them say, hey, I want to learn more about this person? What can I say that makes them engaged and they want to learn more? That's what I want you to work on when it comes to the engage module. The next one is enroll. So enroll, when it talks about enroll, we talk about how we can get people to want to buy our products and our services before we ask them to purchase. Now that's critical, but it's a step that a lot of people miss. You see, I'm going to show you the third step, so this all makes sense to you. The third step is convert, right? Now convert is where we ask people to buy our products and services. So if we're engaged with them and we ask them to buy, the middle section is enroll. Now enroll is where we get them to want. Like I just said, they want to buy our products and services. I've been doing this for a long time right around the world. I've met a lot of sellers, a lot of sales teams. What I find is this: they engage with somebody, then they try and close them into their product or their service. And they miss this massive chunk called enroll. Now enroll is where you strategically use questions to find out what that person is really looking for and the real benefits they're looking for from your product and your service. Now again, I go into this in massive detail when I'm dealing with you, or maybe I've already talked a little bit about this when we first met, but it's one of the pivotal parts of this $1 million trifecta. Because if you want to be able to make the sales here, if you want to influence and persuade anybody, and this is just making a sale to get someone to say, yes, I want to buy your product. This could be getting a supplier to come down on costs. You can engage with somebody, you can find out really what their drivers are, and you can leverage those drivers to get them to say yes. You are learning how to influence and persuade, and you are learning a skill that you can use for the rest of your life. So when it comes to enroll, let me give you a couple of important factors. When you're dealing with somebody, I want you to find 2 to 3, more if you can, but 2 to 3 is enough, convincing reasons that they have to buy your product and service. Now, they're convincing reasons that they tell you. So deep things on there. They might say, hey, if I don't do this, I'm going to go broke. If I don't make this change, I'm not going to ever be able to see my children, never see them grow up. If I don't make this change, I'm going to die, or all these things that could happen. If they understand the importance of buying your product and service and how that links into their livelihood and what they're trying to achieve in their life, wow, you watch people take instant action with you and with your products and services as well. So we need to find out really why this person must take critical action in investing in your product and service. Once we find that in the enroll section, now it's time for us to convert. Now, convert is about making sure that someone buys from you. Now, again, I spend about 5 hours just on this training when it comes to trial closing, when it comes to learning different nuances of people, knowing when to close instantly to get a yes, knowing my 16 killer closes and all those amazing things that I'm going to show you, I promise you. But this is just to give you a quick impact, a quick start. So instantly, today, right now, whenever you are watching this, you can start making revenue, making money before you do any of my other training, before you instant access anything online or come to any of my workshops. I'm trying to get you instant money in your pocket straight away. So follow these strategies as well. Now, the convert module, this part is about how you get them to say yes every single time. Now, I could teach you 1,000 closes, but you know what I'm going to give you today? I'm going to give you one. Ask for the business. Don't allude to it. Don't say, oh, maybe, I'll try this close. I'm going to try. Ask for the business. Statistics show that over 50%, I can't believe I'm even saying this because it's that critical, 50% of people in a sales role don't even ask for the business. Think about it. 50% of people do all this work and then get to the point where they don't even say, did you want to buy today? Did you want to invest today? Did you want to come along to this thing that I'm trying to sell you? Did you want this? Not just did you want this in this color or that color, but did you want to buy this? Are you going to pay on cash or a credit card? Asking for the sale. I just want you to focus on asking for the sale. So there's so much that goes into this, but can I leave you with this? Learn how to engage people instantly so they want to do business with you, they want to listen. Then learn how to find exactly what it is that drives that person and what it is that makes them want to make that business decision to invest with you and your product or your service. And then find that way to convert them. And one of the things I've given you is just make sure you absolutely say to that person, I want you to invest in this product. I want you to buy this service. Ask for the business. I know it might sound silly or even, of course, everybody must ask, but I'm telling you, 50% of people that we've surveyed that you can see statistically, globally, don't even ask for the business. They hope the other person is going to say, hey, hey, here's some money. I want to buy your product or your service as well. So there's a huge amount I can train you with. This quick start guide is about giving you a couple of little things that you can instantly change your business and change your life. And this is just a start. Me as your mentor, I'm going to be with you for a very long time. And the reason I know that is because when I look at our clients that we've worked with, our tribe members, these guys haven't been around us for a month or 2 months. I've had my clients that have been around me for literally since the day I